Hey guys, this is Vince Transport Productions here, and yeah, so as opposed to compiling all the top 10 best elevators I've rode this year, I also wanted to highlight some of the good stuff in public transit, because this year I've started getting a lot more into buses, trains, and yeah, so yeah. So before we get to the top 10 best elevators, I just wanted to highlight some of the top 10 best things I've done in public transit or in elevators. So yeah, with that being said, let's get started. So we're gonna go in chronological order, either it being public transit or elevators. So yeah, so in March of 2022, I got to ride my second manual gated Otis elevator, and this time, as opposed to the one in UC Berkeley, this one's located in Santa Cruz, an undisclosed location, unfortunately, but yeah. I got to experience my first fully sliding manual doors, and it was definitely like a time capsule, you know, just riding something very historic. And also the elevator was it was a shape of a bird cage, and I've been wanting to see those for a very long time. I'm kind of glad I get to experience one, and it was definitely not disappointing at all. And the elevator, I think, was a single speed elevator, so basically I get to experience all the harsh starts and stops as opposed to the usual multi-variable, you know, speeds you usually see in a modern elevator. So that was pretty cool, you know, just get to experience a lot of the you know, the brunt impact of the harsh starts and stops. And it's pretty cool seeing all the floors pass by beyond the gates, the sliding gates. So yeah, definitely a true piece of beauty with the bird cage, and really hoping I can see that again one day. And sometime around April of 2022, I got to ride my second inclined elevator. It's located in Capitola, California. It's pretty close to Santa Cruz, and it's located at the Shadowbrook restaurant. And I'm pretty sure that restaurant opened sometime around the 1900s. So that elevator is definitely unique in terms of its shape, and it definitely has an old look to itself, so it gives itself a lot of character. The elevator was installed by Otis. It was modded by Hollister Whitney with new fixtures and a new motor. But, you know, the inclined elevator is pretty old. I think it's almost 100, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, true piece of beauty. I almost spent too much time on that. And yeah. But speaking of both elevators I've just talked about, both of them will be shown in the compilation, so you guys will definitely see what I'm talking about. And later on, I also got to ride my first VTA bus. I've never ridden on the light rail yet. I'm hoping to do that next year, but I got to ride my first VTA bus. It's pretty cool. It's nothing too special, but it's just my first time, you know. And then let's see, summer break starts, and then I also get to ride my first ever, or not ride, but I also get to film my first ever freight elevator with the bi-parting doors, because, you know, all my life, when I started this since I started this YouTube channel, I've been filming, you know, mostly elevators with center single slide doors. But yeah, I got to film my first ever freight elevator with bi-parting doors. But not only that it was a freight elevator, this was a special one. It's located at UC Berkeley, McCone Hall, and this one, and on the top floor, has this huge panel that basically just slides down, as opposed to the regular center opening bi-parting doors. And that was pretty weird because the top there's a top floor, so you can't have a door open to the top since it's blocked. So you have this one huge panel that just opens downwards, and that is one of the most weirdest things I've ever seen. Um, and what's interesting is that the elevator itself has no ceiling, so basically you just get to like descend in this platform. And you get to see the ceiling just go higher right above you, like the ceiling, not the elevator ceiling. And that was pretty cool. And the elevator has a pretty epic motor, and I'm kind of glad I rode it. Big thanks to Justin for taking me on a spin on this epic elevator. So yeah, definitely one of the most important elevators of my channel. So yeah. And in addition, I got to ride some more Otis elevators, black button Otis elevators. Those are pretty cool, both being located at the Dome Memorial Library at UC Berkeley. That's pretty cool. And I also got to ride my first ever Caltrain. And yeah, believe it or not, this is my first Caltrain, because the thing is, I live in the East Bay, but the Caltrain is only in the peninsula, and I'm usually don't really go to the peninsula, because if I go to SF, I just take BART. But Caltrain, it's quite different from BART, because Caltrain, you have double-decker cars. You also got those locomotives that haul the whole train, but you know, it's almost like a real like train, as opposed to like a metro style, subway style train. That's pretty cool. So I got to ride my first Caltrain, and but the thing was, like, I rode it during the summer, so it was quite hot in the cars, and kind of sucks there's no air conditioning. But yeah, those trains are from 1985, so I guess it kind of makes sense that there's no HVAC, since it wasn't really a thing back at the times. But with the new electric multiple units coming, I'm hoping that there will be improvement in the quality of the ride, and of course, you know, the climate control. So yeah, looking forward to that. I think they're supposed to enter service either in 2024 or 2025, because they're still trying to electrify the whole line right now. So yeah, so looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm hoping to do some train spotting on the Caltrain lines, including some trains speeding past the station, and of course some trains stopping at the station and all that. So yeah. In addition, I also got to ride the Tri-County Wheels Transit Agency. That's located in Dublin and Livermore and Pleasanton, I think. Yeah. It's a pretty small transit agency. They only have Gilligs as their for their buses. And basically I was there because I had to go to jury duty. Yeah. I also got to ride my first ever battery electric buses. So during my trip to LA, I got to ride the BYD buses, and the first time I rode it, there's some things I noticed. I noticed a pretty big difference in the acceleration, like the rate the bus accelerates and the rate the bus decelerates. Definitely, it's a lot more harsh, I guess, because you know you feel more force against you, as opposed to the normal CNG and diesel buses. So yeah, so definitely a big difference. And of course, the bus is definitely a lot quieter since there's no engine. So yeah, I also got to ride the Proterra battery electric buses, and I've been really wanting to ride those for quite a long time since I was in Santa Cruz. Yeah, even though that most of these buses are in Watsonville, which is at least 30 miles away from, you know, or the main UCSC campus in downtown is. There are some that come to the Santa Cruz area, and even the UCSC campus, like late at night, maybe around like 6 or 7-ish. And sometimes they would do some routes around the area. So luckily I was able to catch one of those buses and take a pretty good ride on it. So yeah. And the the funny thing was that the route that I got the bus on, that route is usually crowded, but thankfully, thankfully 3 times, the bus was not crowded, because this route was known to be the worst crowded bus route, ever. That's what I can think of, but yeah, it's known to be one of the worst crowded bus routes. So yeah, thankfully it wasn't crowded. And yeah, I apologize for repeating, but I was just so thankful it wasn't crowded. That's all. So yeah, definitely it was a really cool bus. You get to like look through the back window, and I really love the sound of the motors, like the whirring of electric motors. That's really cool. The video of this bus will probably come out in several weeks, probably after my Muni videos. So yeah. So I think that's all I have to say. And with that being said, let's get on to my top 10 best elevators I rode in 2022. So with that being said, here we go. Let's see here. No, it's not here. I gotta call it. Holy shit. That thing is huge. Oh my goodness. Wow, this one's fun. This is an incredibly small elevator. Three bars. Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is G.
G.
You just go to M.
Interesting.
Oh, look at this.
Wow. my goodness, yo. Look at these buttons. Alright, we're gonna listen to the generator wind down, so we're gonna stay in here for a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. Alright, listen to the generator. Nice. Wow.
We'll meet you down here.
Alright. Nice. Very cool button. This is the elevator at an undisclosed location. Oh. This is one very beautiful elevator. This was an original Otis that got modded with Montgomery. So let's go back down. back to 2. These are really cool buttons. This is a really cool button.
Going down.
Elevator. Oh. It's down. Very nice. Coming up?
Go ahead.
Huh? Are you going up? No?
We're not going up yet, no.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, though.
Yep. Oh. Counterweight. I might take one more ride, but I'm gonna let these guys go first. Here we go. Alright guys, so yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed my compilation, and these were my top 10 best elevators I put together. I think this year I've rode one of the most coolest elevators, but we'll leave that until later, until I actually ride some even cooler elevators, you know, in the future. So yeah, so I've been able to, you know, ride a lot of really cool elevators, some variety of transport operators. So I've been definitely going all out there, you know, so yeah. So hopefully I can do more next year, kind of go more out there besides just filming a bunch of you know, UC Santa Cruz elevators. So yeah. And oh, speaking of the UC Santa Cruz elevators, I apologize if the content is boring out you guys, because I noticed that whenever I upload UC Santa Cruz videos, my views get kind of low and I don't really gain much subs. But yeah, the thing is though, I wanted to film all the elevators at the campus, since no one has really filmed it for at least 5 years, so that's quite a long time. So thankfully, I filmed nearly all the elevators and I've posted pretty much all of them. So what this means is that I only have 4 elevators left, which means only 2 weeks left of UCSC uploads. So yeah, if all goes right, I should be able to finish all the UCSC uploads within the 2 weeks, and hopefully move on to something else. So what I'll be filming or uploading next after UC Santa Cruz is the Muni Central Subway, and the Central Subway system is amazing. Well, currently I'm filming this on the 29th, but I've seen a bunch of videos of the elevators, the escalators, and the walkthrough of the subway, so yeah. So definitely the content should be very, definitely a lot more entertaining than the UCSC content, with all the glass elevators, the really long escalators, being that they're brand new. So yeah, really looking forward to that, and hoping that, you know, my next content isn't as boring. So yeah. And yeah, so I've definitely done a lot of great stuff in terms of the transport channel. Oh, and also, I didn't mention it last time, but I also got to do my first ever elevator meetup. So basically, I met up with Jiao Evader 3219, and also CA Elevators. Their names are Justin and Tyler, respectively. And I want to give a huge shout out to Justin for planning the meetup. I was planning to film the rest of the elevators in Berkeley, since Justin found some more cool elevators, and I told him, or I asked him, which elevator should I film, and he's like, hey, we should do a meetup. And I was like, yo, that's a good idea. So, you know, I basically want to thank him for planning that meetup, and definitely one of my best and first meetups I've ever done. So hopefully I can do some more meetups in the future. So yeah, so lots of good stuff, but unfortunately there's been quite some not so good stuff that's been happening over the last couple of days of 2022. So I've recently seen a lot of these YouTube community posts, different ones from different users flowing around, talking about some sort of drama. And yeah, it's kind of sad seeing something like that. But what makes it even more sadder is that each of the different community posts are taking different sides of the drama. But I don't really want to go too much into it, since I'm not involved, nor do I want to be involved. And yeah, it's not really affecting me right now, but I'm just kind of voicing it out, you know, with my concerns right now. Yeah, so it's rather sad to see this stuff happening, especially when it only has to do with our interest in riding metal boxes up and down, Well, as that's all of our mutual interest. So hopefully that gets resolved pretty soon. So yeah. So yeah, I don't have too much to say, and hope you guys have a good 2023, and hopefully I'm hoping to film a lot more cool content next year besides UCSC. And sorry, I'm really putting UCSC on the spot here, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know, the elevators are just boring, that's all. But, you know, with that being said, that'll be it. I'll see you guys next year, and that'll be it.